Hey guys, welcome to an episode of Deleted Scenes where I'm your guest host, James, and our actual guest today is
Julien.
And we're here to break down his top 5 movies, kind of like how we did last week with my games. So, Julien, if you want to take us away, what you got?
So, for my top 5 films, they never really change. They don't change at all.
Shots
really.
fired? Okay.
No shots fired. It's just like, for me, there's haven't been a film since last year that I was just like, this has to be in my top 5. So, we're going to go through the list. The top 4 aren't in any particular order because they have a very special place in my heart. But number 1 is always going to be number 1. So, for the first one, I would have to put in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I remember watching it as a kid. I was fascinated with dinosaurs at a very young age. I remember in 97, my mom went to take us to go see Lost World, and it was PG-13, but she loved the first one, and we didn't know better. And since then, I was like, let me get into the first one, and been head over heels with the first one. Steven Spielberg did a phenomenal job with the first one. The score was amazing. The animatronics for the dinosaurs were amazing. Like, hell, the special effects still hold up to this day. Mm-hmm. Just an overall fantastic movie. I loved every moment of it. Like, it's that movie for me.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things because there's always talk about even with the old Star Wars, like the mix of practical and special effects, and how something like that is almost like almost 2 decades older.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it still looks fantastic.
And that's what bothers me so much about the new ones. It's like the new ones look like they just did some slapstick special effects, mm-hmm. especially on Fallen Kingdom.
Just throw money at it, don't make it better.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And it's just like what you took out of Jurassic Park is the humanity of it and the realness of these dinosaurs could actually be real.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I kind of really am irritated with the new ones, but I will say that the first one is very hold dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite movies. Like, if that movie comes on AMC or any other movie channel, it's staying.
Instant watch, yeah.
And so I love that so much. So then my next film that I'm going to talk about is going to be The Matrix. The original Matrix. Well, not original, the first one. The Wachowski sisters now, they did a phenomenal job with it. I thought this was the epitome of Keanu Reeves' career until we got to John Wick.
Yeah.
But this was the epitome of his career. Lawrence Fishburne did a phenomenal job as Morpheus. Trinity, I forgot Carrie Ann Moss. Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss was great. There's so many people in the first one that I just love so much. Especially Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. Like,
that's
still
probably the best part of the movie, really.
Right, he's still one of the best movie villains that you could ever put on the screen. And I can be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to mess with that guy because he can kill me at any given moment. And that's what I loved so much about The Matrix. Even though, like, it's electro and it's very philosophical in itself, but at the end of the day, it's still a very good movie to watch. And I'm probably going to buy it on the 4K restoration because it just came out in the 4K. Like, I want to see how damn good it looks in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can really say bad about The Matrix except for the fact that it was so popular. It got referenced in every single thing.
And most of the things that most people try to do couldn't be achieved. Like, wanted to try to do the whole bullet time bullshit. Everybody tried to do the 360 full motion action sequences, and it's just like nobody can do what the Wachowskis did with that film.
It was obvious they were always copying it.
And it was just like, you could tell they were copying it. It was just like, all right, guys, you tried. Nice try. But the Wachowskis did better. And so another movie that I had to sit on and watch, especially the final scene when they're trying to bring up Morpheus in that whole cinder block scene. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can watch that every day. Watch it every day. Then my third film that we're going to talk about is my favorite Disney film of all time, The Lion King.
Oh.
I know you love Aladdin, but for me, Lion King is that movie. It's the epitome of Disney. It's Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast.
That's fair.
So for me, Lion King, just because, again, Hans Zimmer at his best with the score. Matthew Broderick as Simba. James Earl Jones as the epitome of Mufasa. Like, there's nobody else who can play Mufasa. And that's why I'm so happy that they got him to come back and do Mufasa in this live adaptation remake. But, like, that movie was so dear to my heart. And that's the first movie I actually was cried to because how Mufasa died and Simba's just like, Dad, we gotta go home. Like, Dad, you gotta get up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, his dad's dead. Oh my God. Like, it was that good of a movie. Again, nobody knows, but Jeremy Irons is Scar.
Yeah.
Oh, still, like, phenomenal. And just everything about it. And then you can't forget the opening sequence.
Yeah. I mean, it's another one of those every reference ever type things.
Yeah.
Holding up baby Simba,
So, like, it's I love that movie so much, and it's one of my favorites. And backstory, my best friend and I, when we were in high school, we went to go watch it when it came back and re-released in theaters. And we thought we were going to be only grown-ass kids, 17 at the time, going to watch it. And Lord and behold, there's 3 rows of high school kids sitting there watching it. And when the opening song comes out, we're singing it, and we're all in unison. Like, all 3 different high schools at my hometown, all of us are singing that song together, and the Circle of Life. And then after it ends, you know, you get the text of Lion King out there. I had a kid literally 3 rows under me. I cannot make this up. Kid goes, Mommy, how do they know the songs already? I was like, kid, you don't know shit about this, all right? This is my childhood.
Pick up the kid, sit him, and just chuck him.
It's like, you don't know anything about this, kid. So, like, yeah, that movie still holds near and dear to my heart. And then for my number 2 movie, I guess I'll put this as 2. Jordan Peele's directorial debut, Get Out.
Yeah.
Watching it for the first time was like, wow, I didn't expect somebody to do this in this kind of political climate at this movie, where like, hey, I'm dating a white girl, I'm black, I'm gonna go to her family, and all of the subtle hints that something weird was going on, and then the subtle racism that was going on through the entire movie was just like, wow.
It's like, I feel that.
Exactly, right? It's just like, I get that and I understand that. And it's like what Daniel Kaluuya said when he was on Stephen Colbert. It's like everybody tells you, oh, I would have voted for Obama for a 3rd time. Like, literally, I had a whole bunch of friends. I'm not going to say their name. Well, they used to be my friends, but won't say their names due to discretion. They used to tell me and be like, bro, did you see Get Out? Oh, my God. It blew my mind. It opened my mind. The rest of them is like, so this is going to be that movie now that you could afford to being black. It's just like, all right. But the eye-opening of it, the surrealism still hit home for me, just because, you know, how I talk about how there's still some racism back in my hometown. But it's just like, wow, that really hit close to home, and I can understand being in that situation. And so that's why that's one of my favorite movies. That's why it's one of my favorite movies, and I can sit there and watch that one as well, and it is really well done.
It's pretty funny how Get Out, like I saw Get Out became the new I Have a Black Friend.
Yes. It's just like, why did that has to be a thing though? But like, it's neither here or there. But yeah, it's like, I really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think it's funny because the first 3 movies came out when you were younger. That's the first movie on the list that came out like when you were like an adult.
Right. It was like I was an adult and I had to understand, this is really close to home. And so that's why that one's up there. And then my final movie, which will still be number 1 to this day, because it's just, I think, the magnum opus for how to make a comic book film, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Granted, like we were talking about earlier in the show, one of the videos that haven't been pushed on here, that it's not close to the comic book adaptations at all. Well, not at all, but to an extent, it takes pieces and pieces from multiple comics and put it together. But to make a superhero film, a comic book adaptation, and do it that great, speaks wonders for me. Because, like, I was 14 when that movie came out. Yeah, I was 14. And this is when midnight releases were actually midnight releases. Like, my cousin and I, we had to literally, my mom dropped us off at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, sat there, and we waited 2 hours for that movie to come out. And I remember watching the first scene, and I'm like, this is the Batman movie I've been looking forward to. This is the one I've always wanted. And I can still watch that movie to this day, like we do at Best Buy. Like, we sit there and we replay the demo, the audio demos, and every time I chance I get when they try to watch a Batman movie, like they have all of them, I try to slide in The Dark Knight just because of how great it was. Not just because, Heath Ledger died playing the Joker, right? May he rest in peace. But it's more about like how living and breathing they made that world, and how great of a story all that came together.
Yeah.
Right? And like, that's what I loved about it. Do I like Christian Bale as Batman?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Right? But the story of how basically he's becoming Batman, and how his world and Bruce Wayne's world comes to collide when his worst enemy comes to play was really damn good. And I love that movie so much. Like, that's on the shelf. That will always be number one on my shelf.
Yeah.
Until somebody makes a better one.
Yeah. I mean, that's not surprising knowing you, being Batman guy and movie guy. Good Batman movie, perfect.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for so many years, I had to hold on to Batman and Batman Returns, right? Batman Forever is my guilty pleasure movie. And then
it's dumb, but
it's
fun.
dumb, but it's a fun, entertaining, dumb movie, right? And then you get Batman and Robin. Yeah. We got Batman and Robin.
It's a movie.
One of the worst, I hate to say it, Joel Schumacher, one of the worst Batman movies ever. And I thought Adam West's Batman movie was campy. Oh no, that shit took the cake.
Yeah.
Like, that took the cake. Yeah. And so, like, for years I've been waiting on a good Batman movie. Batman Begins was good, and then Dark Knight was just like, I'll show you better.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's gonna be up there. So for now, that is my top 5. Those are gonna probably stay there for a long time until something else comes out. But yeah, like, those are my top 5 movies.
Well, feel free in the comments to tell us what you think of Julian's movies and why you think Aladdin's better than Lion King. Also, don't forget to share the video, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Anything else, man?
If you guys want to basically be a guest to be on Deleted Scenes or James Games Corner, talk about your favorite 5 movies, hit us up on the comments. Let us know on our social media. We'll let you know, and we'll see if we can get you on there. But from all of us here, stay tuned.